What's up, YouTube? Yeah, I got on my Snuggie. Yes, I have a Snuggie. Here in ATL today, it is cold and it's raining. Like, what is up with that? For real, let me adjust this. Let me see what the temperature is. Let me look on my phone. 49 degrees. Are you kidding me? This is one of them times where I'm like, dude, I gotta go back to AZ. Why is this sticking up right here? My hair got a mind of its own. But this is one of them times where I really need to go back to AZ because I think it's 66 in Arizona, even though that's, you know, still cool, but that's what I like, you know. 40, you know, once you start going below 60, the kid don't do well. So, and I knew full ahead before moving here that, you know, it can get a little cold down here in Georgia and possibly snow. I knew that, but I love the scenery. It's beautiful. It's green. A very welcomed shift from the dirt. And but I love the mountain view. I know Miss Tina always showing her little mountains at the end of her block make me miss the mountains at the end of my block. So I miss that mountain view, that 360 degree mountain view that we had down in the valley. So, all right, that's not what I came here for. What I came here for is because it's November the 3rd, day number 1 after the election yesterday. And boy, oh boy, have I had my fair share of Facebook status and YouTube videos about, oh, y'all didn't get out and vote, so it's y'all fault that the Republicans is in office, and, you know, it's your fault this, and if you didn't vote, then you shouldn't complain. Let me say this, and this is completely out of revelation to myself. This election, I was on the other side. I was not able to vote because I did move from Arizona to Georgia, and I did not get registered here. Actually, I don't even have a driver's license yet here in Georgia. So I did not get registered here to vote in time for this election. And I was not educated enough, in my opinion, to vote in a manner that I feel is conducive to our political environment here in America. And it's just my feeling, you know, call me what you want, but I'm an intelligent, I'm an educated black woman. So it's just my opinion that an uneducated vote is worse than not voting at all. That's just my opinion. I don't, even though in the past I've, you know, considered myself to be Democrat or whatever, I don't vote straight Democrat tickets. To those who do, you know, hey, that's, you know, you do what's comfortable for you. But I like to know what each person has to offer me and how their decision is going to affect my life, because that's what's important. As a whole, that's what's important. So yeah, I'm seeing all these statuses and, oh, it's your fault, you didn't vote. And let me say this, I pay taxes. Therefore, I earned a right to a complaint. The question is, who are you complaining to? See, the problem is not low voter turnout, because historically, turnout is always low on a non-presidential election. Historically. So the question is not who didn't vote, because you don't know who those people would have voted for if they did vote. The question becomes, are you going to hold these politicians that are elected accountable? See, if you want to change something, you got to hold people accountable, because far too many times have we put those that we wanted to have in office and they don't do what they say they're going to do. They don't deliver. But what do? Do we hold them accountable? The reason why I had this revelation is because I had a teacher at University of Phoenix, and if any of my University of Phoenix peeps are watching me, that were in my cohort rather, were watching me, they know what teacher I'm talking about. But we had a teacher that came to class and told us this story of how she was emailing the one of the state representatives in Arizona. She was hitting this dude with email after email after email, holding him accountable to what he had said he was going to do. She was emailing all of the reps, putting her ideas in the air. She was holding them accountable. And at the time, I looked at that and was like, this lady is nuts. Now, looking at this election and looking at the fact that the Republicans are in control of the House, now I see. Her premise was to hold these people accountable to what they say. And if it's something that you don't like, we have the right. Now, this is what our rights are. We have the right to call, email, write letters, show up at their office, whatever. Go outside with a sign, outside the state capitol with a sign. That is what our right is. Voting is a privilege. Voting is a privilege, but our rights, according to the First Amendment, is to right to freedom of speech and to be heard. That is our right. So with all that said, you know, it's day one after the election. And President Obama is getting ready to come on and give his take on this whole situation, you know, because, you know, he's been defeated. But keep in mind this, too. Bill Clinton had a Republican control Congress. And it's not even fully Republican control. We got the Democrats running the Senate and the Republicans running the House. That's the definition of bipartisanship. How you gonna have a Congress that's all Democrat? You got a Democrat president, but you sitting there kicking, oh, we want some bipartisanship effort. But you holding all the chips to yourself. This is truly bipartisan, and this right here is where it gets interesting. But I implore all of you out there in land who made videos and was like, you know, get out and vote. And I don't want to hear it if you don't vote. And you don't have no excuse not to vote. Some people do have excuses because some people are felons and they can't vote. They had their privilege taken away. Some people are homeless and they may not be voting. Some people lost their house in foreclosure and had to move from one state to the other and just got grounded and they were uprooted and moved somewhere else because they lost work or lost their house, living with family. They may not have had the chance to exercise their privilege. So there are reasons why folks don't exercise their privileges. If you don't want to accept them as an excuse, then okay, that's fine. But there are reasons why folks don't exercise their privilege. And they're just folks who just don't plain believe in the whole voting system. To each their own. But what I've learned this election by being on the other side is I saw firsthand on how I will not act from every election now on. Now this is my, like I said, first election that I've ever missed. And it tore me up yesterday that I wasn't even able to get out there and do what my ancestors fought tooth and nail for me to have. Trust me, it did. It ate me up. But at the same time, it allowed me, God gave me, and I ain't even going to say God, let's not even go there. But the experience allowed me to see that we can't play the blame game. We can't. We can't play the blame game. We don't have time to play the blame game. We got to hold folks accountable. If folks in Detroit was holding these politicians accountable from day one, from way back when, we ain't even talking about Kwame. We talking about going all the way back to the 80s when I was little, knee high to a cricket. If we was holding these people accountable back then, you wouldn't be in the rut that you're in now. That's the difference. So, what's next? Accountability. We have the right as the people to let our voices be heard and to hold these people accountable because we're the ones who put them there, so to speak. So to speak. So, yeah, that's what I had to say today. I ain't did one of these videos in a while. I guess it was kind of sort of a rant. But, you know, that was really what's on my heart, and it's really kind of bothering me that, you know, folks say, well, you can't complain, and you can't complain because you still, if you working, you still shelling out some dollars to that hot FICA on your paycheck. That hot FICA. If you're in the military, you earned it because you still putting your life on the line to have a complaint. You know, some things are going to change, and some things are for the good. Change is good. We shouldn't live with a spirit of fear. What you scared of? We done been here before. Or before. Don't let my countryness come out, huh? We done been here before. And we still living. We made it through. We still living. We done been through some of the worst presidents ever. Not even counting George Bush. Just bad presidents before him. And we still here. We still made it. So, what you scared of? What you scared of? God is in control. Trust no man. Ever. Trust no man. This is all divinely planned. All. And I'm just a spiritualist. I ain't religious. So, I'm going to go ahead and wait for the president. Let's see. They said top of the hour. That's about 15 minutes away. So, I'm going to go ahead and wait for the president. And, comments are welcome. Foolishness is not. You disrespect me, I'm going to block you. And I'm going to delete your comment. Because it's your right to post it and post on YouTube. But I also have the privilege to delete that crap and bust up out of it, get you out of here. So, it is what it is. So, alright. Shout out to my YouTube peoples. Shout out, you know, they know who they are. Tina, Philip, Kenji, Jackie, you know. New one, Kiana. I've been watching her too lately. And but shout out to them. Shout out to the folks that I'm watching. Shout out to the folks who's watching me. 100% Carmel. I think that's your name. But you a trip. So on that note, peace out. Everybody always says peace out. Jackie says toodles. Tina says, mwah. I don't have my own signature sign off. So, let's see. I'm out. Deuces.